How are you today, my friends? Mr. Green here, and starting on a new project. As you guys know, or if you don't, I have these two Shelter Logic sheds. They're both 20 by 12, end to end. One is my workshop down at the end, and this was a storage shed for the tractor and stuff for the winter. This is normally where our garden would go, and we're just sick of the weeding and stuff, so we decided to take this Shelter Logic shed, take off the top, and as you can see, it's all in terrible condition anyways. We're going to order the plastic, clear greenhouse plastic to go over top of this. And right now, I'm just starting to, let me back up here a little bit. I'm starting to frame in. So I had this old window here, so that's going to go on the front. Now I've just got to frame in here, do the same thing on that side, and then there's going to be a very large door to go in between here, so that you know, if I have to bring in, say, this trailer, even, well, obviously not with the sides on, take the seats off, and then I can bring in dirt and stuff like that, and easy access for the wheelbarrow and stuff. Up above here is going to be a panel with hardware cloth on it that it can be taken off in the winter or in the summer and covered in the winter. So yeah, it's coming along. This is all recycled pressure treated lumber from an old deck I ripped out. So yeah, I'll bring you back here once I get it more framed out, and you can kind of see how things are going. And yeah, we'll continue this series on right into the spring, because we're going to be setting up a hydroponics station on one side for all your greens, like your quick growing greens, and then that'll probably actually go on this side, and then we're gonna have some raised beds on the other side. So all right guys, I'll bring you back here in a little bit. Okay, my friends, I know I started when I had, I think, just this front window in here, and I got carried away, and I'm on such a time crunch because I have so much work to do at my actual job, so I'm very limited, and spring is here, so I need to get these walls done. And so I framed out that whole entire wall, and that's the only place that's not done yet. That's going to have hardware cloth and a fan, and then it's gonna have a board for the winter. So all that's on. We got the plastic on yesterday. I am using a Super 6 poly, and here's my reason behind it. I priced out plastic for this greenhouse. I needed 25 feet by 25 feet, and the cheapest plastic place I could find it from, shipped to my house, was between $200 and $250. So that allowed me to do the greenhouse one time. So I went online, and Home Hardware, which I'm sure you can get at Home Depot, and if you're in the States, you can actually buy it through Home Depot, and it's made by Husky. But we don't have that in Canada. So anyways, I ordered this Super 6. I got 100 feet, and it's 20 feet wide. So I have enough now to do my greenhouse 4 times, recover it. Sorry, it's really, really windy out today. So I used strapping, just screwed them onto the board, and then put the plastic on, and then screwed another board over top to sandwich the plastic in between to make sure I get a good seal. And so yeah, the greenhouse is pretty much all done. Sawdust all in the bottom now. And this is what I'm working on right now, is my aquaponics system. So this is a 85-gallon tub that I got from Home Hardware. You can get it at Home Depot, Tractor Supply, any store like that will sell these. So I got that. It has a drain built right into it, so that will go over to this pump, which will pump it up here and over the top, and I have a valve here so that I can control the flow. And inside this barrel is going to be half full of like a really fine stone, not really fine, but fine stone, and then from there it will drain out into my beds, which are going to have a floating mat over top. And then I used a bung, I think this is called a what's it called, I can't remember what it's called, but anyways, it's a bulkhead, that's what it's called. So use this bulkhead to go through this wood here. This is 6mm poly inside here, double wrapped, so I left 2 layers, so that's extra insurance if it ever did get a little leak or something in it. I'm using gasket sealer for all of any of the joints that are actually screwed together. Now I am using conduit instead of PVC. So the guy told me at the store they're pretty much the same thing. This is really cheap too. So and it's all under low pressure like most of the system. So yeah, it should be all fine. If I find out that it's not, I can always change it out, you know. We'll see how things go. I think it should be fine. So right now I've just got to change out this pipe so that it doesn't come out over top here. Have it so it comes straight down. So that's my next thing, and then I have another bed that's going to go right here. So yeah, I'm going to start with one right now. I think we're going to get tilapia and grow them for food. So we eventually there'll be one of those tubs there, one here. And we may, we're not decided on what we're going to do here. We're thinking about using medium, like clay pellets or stone or something like that to do all of this aquaponics down this side too. But here's the thing, the clay pellets are, for a 10-liter bag, is $50. So to fill that many beds is going to cost me like $600 in clay pellets, which is kind of silly. That's, I mean, you can buy that many vegetables for the next 3 years and not spend that, right? Maybe not 3 years, but you know, for quite a while. So I got to kind of figure out what works best, you know, for the system, and that will be on a completely separate video. So I'll probably include all of this first startup and all of that. So yeah, so I'm gonna finish this last pipe here. I've got to pick up the foam, and I've got to get some water in this system. So I'll bring you back once we're at that point. Okay, my friends, I've got most of the system done now. Just bringing in water into the bottom tank, like I showed you before, up to here, and then it goes up inside this barrel, and there's a valve there so that I can control that flow. I haven't yet got them, but this is going to be filled with rocks halfway up, and then inside there's a little spout that goes up to the top of the layer of the rock so that all the sediment falls and then just the water goes in. So yeah, it's came along quite a way. The only part I have left is to do from here, and then I've got to decide until I get my other tanks in. So but the overflow, everything works. Now I'm just gonna have to gauge you know, the control flow for this to control the whole system. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'll bring you back once I get the beds, like the floating part done, and this last little bit here. I did put a clean out with a garden hose attachment on the back so that every once in a while I can flush out the bottom part of this tank and get rid of all the crap that's sitting inside. So that's the plan, and yeah, all right, well, I'll bring you back here in a little bit. Okay, my friends, the aquaponics system is now done. I've got the barrel all here, and now I have both tables set up. Other than this one doesn't have the cups, they won't be in for a couple of days. And then I got 20 cups in this bed, and then there'll be 20 cups in this bed. And then on the other side of the greenhouse, we're gonna do a flush or a fill and drain system with stone, and I'll be getting a much larger tank for that. I'm using 1-inch rigid foam. It is quite pricey, but so far I've got about $150 into this, which isn't terrible. I used a lot of recycled materials, and I used a pump that I got for free, so obviously you have to account for that, but the pump I am running is a little more powerful than what I need. So I do have a valve right here that can be turned to control the amount of flow that goes into that barrel. The only thing I'm still missing is the stone. I went to the guy to get stone and he wasn't there, so I'll have to keep going back because I need quite a bit to do the beds on the other side, but I need to fill this barrel half full of stone too, so it acts as my filter for any fish waste and stuff like that. I did go and pick up, I don't know if you'll even be able to see them, some goldfish today. You won't be able to see down in there, but there is 50 goldfish in here. That's what I'm starting with. I do, once I get a bigger tank, and this is kind of all a trial for me. This is, you know, all new. So I will be putting probably like a 160 gallon tank there, and I'm going to start raising tilapia to help, you know, run this whole system. That big tank will do all the beds on the other side, and this system I may start raising koi and stuff like that to sell. I haven't really decided yet, but yeah, they're all it's all coming along now. I will sorry, my kids are of course being as loud as possible right now. Okay, so yeah, so now the whole system, most of it is out of 1/2-inch PVC. So this here goes up and meets about right here, and at the same height as this one fills. So they both drain out at the same rate into these tanks, and then a siphon is created at the drain points and on both. And you can always hear that drain or that suction sound, but and then yeah, they both feed down and back into the tank, and it's just a closed loop system. I did on the just give me a second here, I'm gonna pull this off and I'll show you inside the tank. Okay, so inside the tank, I drilled a small hole right here so that if the pump were to ever shut off in the middle of the night or whatever, it's not going to back siphon this whole tank dry, because it goes down to the bottom of the tank. And then over there is the one for the left table, and then the one in the center goes to the center or first table. So I wanted it to push this, like all the waste and stuff, it'll go down, have to filter back up through the rock, and then back into the ponds, or into the boxes. So we will be doing strawberry towers up along here, and all out of PVC. So yeah, you guys should definitely subscribe, and I will be doing lots more videos when it comes to aquaponics. So if you want to stay tuned, you got to remember to hit that little bell too. That's, for some reason, that's the new subscribe button apparently, to get notifications when new videos come out. But yeah, we'll be doing planting coming up here soon, in the next couple of days actually, and we're waiting for the other cups to come in and get the stone. So we have lots to come up coming here soon. So please remember to subscribe, and as always, if you click that thumbs up button, it would be greatly appreciated. Everybody have a great day.